It was a cold, cloudy day on the island of Sodor. Thomas and his friends were getting ready for the really useful days in Sodor, but Thomas was cross because he was sick and tired of the same thing over and over. He has the same job every day, never gets to explore other places. He wants to see the world, and it's like a time loop.
Huh? Annie and Clarabelle are boring pieces of crap. They never always keep me on my branch line, and I never get to see the world. It would be nice to do something else for a change.
Said Thomas to Percy. Thomas was hoping Percy would give him a best friend's answer. But Percy didn't agree with Thomas. He felt sorry for Annie and Clarabelle, and this is what he said.
Thomas, Annie and Clarabelle love you to bits. It's better than you think.
Said Percy. Just then, from where Thomas' perspective was, he saw Toby, and this is what he said to him as it was a similar situation about the branch lines and the coaches and more.
And there's Toby. I feel bad for him doing the same job with Henrietta over and over.
But Thomas was wrong.
I have another job today. I have another job today. Sir? Sir? Sir?
Said Toby to the fat controller as he was in such a rush.
Hello, Toby.
Said the fat controller, and the fat controller also commented that Toby would be having a permanent replacement job instead of pulling Henrietta in his own branch line.
I'm really happy to stay on my branch line. I'll miss Henrietta and I don't want to do that other job.
But the fat controller heard Toby incorrectly. He misheard not as want, and the fat controller was about to register it, and he also interrupts Toby, and Toby couldn't explain, so Toby had to accept it.
That's good, you're happy with your new job. No, sir, I know what you said, Toby. You're happy with your new job and I'll register it now so you don't have to overthink you're in the same job. Only if Sir doesn't interrupt it.
Said Toby sadly. He was good friends with the fat controller, but he doesn't like the fat controller interrupting or mishearing him because it causes confusion and delay. So Toby just put sadly away and done what he was told. Percy was explaining to Thomas that Annie and Clarabelle were his own coaches and they were very special to him. Thomas was just about to answer when Toby came rushing into Tishman's shed in a suspicious, upset way. Thomas asked if he was okay. This is what he said.
Toby, are you okay? I understand old branchline coaches can be a nuisance.
I'm trying to explain to Sir that I want to stay with Henrietta, but he keeps interrupting and mishearing me.
I don't care what job I get, so accept what Sir says.
Okay, since the three of you are bored with your old jobs, I'm switching you around. Toby will take the mail train, Percy will be the Farquhar branch line engine, and Thomas, you can pull Henrietta.
I understand how Toby feels, sir. Old branchline coaches can be boring.
Sir, I said I don't mind what job I get.
I know the three of you want to switch jobs. You don't need to keep saying it.
Toby had to accept what the fat controller said, so he put Henrietta sadly inside and rang his bell, and off he went to do his new job. Since Toby was sad, he decided to talk to Gordon about the fat controller replacing his job with Henrietta.
The fat controller is changing my job. You're lucky you still have yours. I don't care. I'm busy. Express coming through. I want to be with Henrietta instead, as she's my coach.
Gordon ignored Toby. He puffed angrily away with his express. And Toby puffed sadly away with his milk train. He wanted the job done and over with. That night, Toby slept at his shed, but Thomas was cross with Toby, thinking he lied about wanting to replace Henrietta.
Toby, why did you lie? You made me and Percy want to switch jobs to make us think you hate Henrietta.
Said Thomas angrily. He didn't know the fat controller misheard Toby and interrupted him.
I was trying to explain, but the fat controller kept interrupting and mishearing me.
Thomas was furious.
Toby, I understand you don't want to be with Henrietta, but why me has to pull it?
It was getting late, so Thomas decided to put angrily to sleep and Toby sadly to sleep. That dark night, it was raining heavily at Smith's shed when the fat controller arrived.
Bust my buffers! It's raining cats and dogs. At least I'm safe in here with my friends.
But Toby was wrong. The fat controller had a night shift job for him.
Don't worry, Toby. That's exactly why I came here. Percy is sleeping in your shed and I want you to pull the mail train.
Toby couldn't argue with the fat controller no more, so Toby had to put his lamp on, ring his bell, and put sadly away. Poor Henry couldn't sleep. He was too scared of the rain. Toby collected Percy's mail van from Knapford Harbour, and since he was so scared, he just puffed away and didn't even wait for the mail to come from the boat from the mainland. So Toby's carriages were empty.
I suppose I'm strong enough to do this myself, but it doesn't mean Sir can replace me to Henrietta.
After Toby's long mail run, Toby was exhausted. Especially he had to go all the way back to Knapford Harbour to collect the mail, and since the rain got so heavy, it took him all night. But when Toby arrived back in Knapford, Gordon was very surprised to see him pulling the mail. He was expecting that was Percy, because it was Percy's job, not Toby's.
What are you doing with the mail? That's Percy's job.
Questioned Gordon. Percy just collected Annie and Clara from the shunting yard and was on his way to Farquhar Branchline. Gordon was very surprised to see Percy with Thomas's coaches, and this is what he said.
Sir, what are you doing with Annie and Clarabelle? They are Thomas's coaches. And why is Thomas pulling Henrietta?
Sir rearranged the jobs because Thomas and Toby got bored of their own jobs.
Just then the guard blew his whistle, and Percy had to go to Thomas's branch line to Farquhar, and Gordon had to go on the main line to Vicarstown. Percy doesn't like what job he gets, but he still doesn't like what Thomas and Toby said about their own coaches, which made him very cross. Thomas now regrets abandoning Annie and Clarabelle.
Why did I ever say that about my coaches?
Percy was waiting on a level crossing, and then he peeped angrily away. But when Percy arrived at Dryar Station, he was very surprised to see someone that he never saw on Thomas Branch Line in a long time.
Hello, Percy.
Said Harold friendly, but Percy gave a grumpy answer because he didn't like Harold.
What are you doing here, Harold? I'm still working on your line, but I come here to collect letters from Dryar Station. Got to go, can't stay here for even 1 second longer. Cheerio!
Percy didn't listen to Harold. He just puffed angrily away as soon as the guard blew his whistle. That night at Tidmouth Sheds, the other engines were very cross with Toby of what he did to Henrietta. Toby was trying to explain that the fat controller interrupted him and it was a misunderstanding, but the engines didn't believe him, and especially Thomas and Percy didn't, because they were arranged from branch lines to branch lines. Toby was cross and no one believed him.
Toby, why did you want to switch jobs? Say you want to go back with Henrietta.
Yeah, Toby, you're no longer my trustworthy friend.
The bigger engines agreed. They didn't like coaches being abandoned because it was cruel.
Toby! I would never abandon my coaches. Not in a million years. Toby, why did you say you want to switch jobs when you want to go back with Henrietta? You should have explained. I tried, but you kept talking over me and mishearing me, so to be honest, sir, you caused confusion and delay. Shoot, I messed it up. Well, okay, meet me at Knapford later or tomorrow.
Later the next morning, the fat controller gathered Thomas, Percy and Toby and Knapford so he could talk to them about the misunderstanding.
I just want to say that there's been a misunderstanding about switching branch lines around. So Thomas, you're back with Andy and Clarabelle, Percy is the nail engine, and Toby has Henrietta. Cheerio!
The engines were very happy to have their old jobs back, and they understand engines and people make mistakes in life, and that's just how it is. Thomas was happy that he was back working with Andy and Clarabelle, and drove happily to the shunting yard to collect them. And Percy went back to Titmuch Shed until night time, so he can pull the mail train and be awake enough. And he whistled and puffed away. And so Toby puffed away to get Henrietta.